Makes sense.
This is your fish finder. So this is the Lowrance HDS 9. It comes with a 3-in-1 transducer on the back. Which
Okay.
means reading everything you read on the sonar.
That's gonna go not
On the boat. During the boat.
yeah, on the boat, yeah, but for the car, I don't think so.
That's our problem.
Connected to the
Finder your gauges, all your horn, and your
น้อง
lights.
นอน
and
เนี่ย
all
นะ
that
ญี่
stuff's
ปุ่น
powered
จัง
by
ไป
the
ปัด
water.
ที่นี่นะโทนอยู่
House power.
Gotcha.
Fuse block.
เข้าไปนะ
fuse
กว่า
blocks in there.
สองจ้างเนี่ยอ่ะเดี๋ยวเดี๋ยวเราไปเห็บ
On
ก็
the boat, except for your lights,
Mhm.
you want to look at that
The
fuse
fuse.
block before you start yanking on the battery cord and things like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Because perhaps
Cause
the fuse might be blown
Yeah.
as opposed to tearing apart the whole boat. Trying to
yeah, cause I was trying to think about isolating it with 2 batteries, having an accessory on
That'd
the
be
other
a
one.
good idea. The
You
question
know?
you're going to ask yourself is, where am I going to put the other battery?
Yeah.
And
That's
so
the thing.
We'll go into that. too.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so everything.
No, you could have it, but you know, I could get it, you know, another one. I know with the thing. Yeah,
You probably want a 40-pound rig on this.
อย่า
small one.
Yeah.
แต่ว่าตูการมาเจอก็ยาวก็กันนะดังๆนะรอตูการนั่นตัวmiền mùa tỏi chạy bữa anh mình nếu cho chia mình lò giang ô miền mùa căn chứ bữa mình mà cả in nói bữa mình lò cả tu giang em phải tu chạy bữa nếu cho chia biển na freeway tại căn chứ na cho mẹ anh na ổn á thằng thà chia mà cả bản mà giang nó giàu nó ye tại đâu á chịu cho bông bữa miền mùa tỏi mảng căn chứ mình mà cả ô chạy bữa chất giáo chất cho mìnhอาจจะจังเปียนะตุ่มเจ้าจังมิงฮะเปียนะตุ่มเจ้าตะโลนสุดมันกันนะมาตุ่มเจ้าจังก็อยากก็
You said landing net?
Yeah.
มาจังจ้างตาเหลียวเทียนห้อยมันก็ให้มิงบัดเดียวจะไฟติงเล่าหาติงตุ้เสียบเล่งอย่างนั้นนะแค่มีบัดเดียวนะมังกาเทียนห้อยให้มิงนะแต่สื่อเจ้าปุ่มบัวมีมาต่อยมังกาอีจานะมีหลอฮะหรอมันตะเจียมังกาหอบโยฟังหอบนะโหลก็เนี่ยหลงนี่ตอนโหลนะเนี่ยหลงในบัวมีหลอมังกาหลอมังกาว่าให้ยุจ้างหอบนะจานแต่ไฟนอนในบัวหลอน้อมแต่มังกา
Guess I could just gas up at gas station. Yeah, the dead.
No, you could have it, you know, I could get a, you know, another one. I know with the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You probably
it's
want a
heavy.
40-pound rig on this.
อย่าดาวนะหรอ seven
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good
Yo,
for the boat.
thì giờ nó hết tay, ông the one you
Yeah,
can
tập
take
tập
it
bang
out.
nữa nè. You know bang nữa nhỉ?
Tay đứa nào không có tới xe.
You put it inside the car. In the back of the truck.
That's gonna go not
Or in the boat. Throw in the boat.
Yeah, on the boat, yeah, but for the
Yeah.
car, I don't
Get
think
this. I
that's
just
gonna
found out
fit.
Matthew told me. That's why I bought one. Mine was $200 for this deal. Same size too. Yeah. Speaking of deal,
I thought I might do love one,
why
but
you want the
guy.
40-pound wide?
I want the one back in the boat.
Boat is
Because I don't go out.
ทำก่อนกันนะดูที่การก็เสียเจียห้องเจียโหยอารมณ์ให้ยุ่ยอยู่มาตะมังติวอีน้อยว่าตะหมายติวก็น่าอยากก็มาติวอยากก็แต่ติวการน่าอยากโอ้กันนะ 130โอ้กันนะติวยี่มายาวกันนะเมียนมัวแต่นะแกงจ้าแต่นะแกงจ้านะปูบัวขวางเชี่ยวเหี่ยวมันกันนะติวการกึ่งเซมายาวใกล้จันนะ Nó mà tiêu can này to. Tiêu can to mà giàu hồ miền mua mà cái đó mua lồng á tầm mai lô tiêu mà rồi có giàu có. Cái tên nó bật béo keng nó mà rồi có giàu cái đó. Nó keng cha ổn thế nè. Mình cả tiêu can rồi một cái nó ô mà giàu cái đó. Hiện mua mới ta lồng tiêu can nó tầm mai ô nè. Mà giàu có. Ý là nó bữa thằng nó gấp nó tụi nải để chắn có bữa ở chiều tu nhiên là bữa chỉ ta chiều cho nó bữa miền mua tỏi cả tay tụi mảng tiêu can nó tại nó mãi cái nó mà giàu có dễ cả.
Also the ring, ring fruit too, huh?
Này cái nó dễ có tiêu can giàu cả. Không thế này có dễ chia luôn nè. Này cái đó. Và nó phải nhắm thôi. Tiêu can giàu hồ cái nó dễ cả. Bởi vì tiêu can nó ở lồng tại nó lỗ này mà khi mà dễ có giàu các cổ. Mà cái đó mà dễ có chấm có là rong răng ấy. Liều mà dễ có dẫn liều em bảo bún liều mà cái nó chấm tiền kinh xe tiêu can ha nè. Ở lồng hai hong hai hồ vậy mai.
Yeah, you wanna get for me? What? Yeah.
Ô một cái này dễ con này. Tiêu can cái xe chấm cơ. Thế tiêu can nó mà lồng hàng tông ý sẵn giúp nó đâu có bùa yêu giang như tiêu can. Nên cao ngàn thế tiêu can này cao thô. Thế nó chạy hôi giật tiêu nó còn liều phê phê đòn nó mà thế. Cái sản phẩm mảng kiến liều nó giúp nó ba nó phê phê đòn như tiêu can nó sẽ có chản. Nga lỗ bùa im hoang tại lỗ tiêu can mà cái nào lỗ hải lỗ quán nó tốt là tiêu đó mà cái tiêu can hay sao? Ồ. Nhị bé chụp đó là đâu á. Nó bận hết cho nó hình hẳn thế. Hoàn nó tiêu can tuổi mà cái nên nhìn đâu á đồ hải mau nó phải đồ hải ngàn. Bắt đầu striper với nhiều biểu pin nó hả mà. Nó mới chẳng với cháu thì giờ em lùng nó mà. Nóm giờ nè. Nó phải zip chân giờ nè, hãy coi coi.
Ăn của ăn bo.
Này tới nấu nhỉ ha.
Không nấu mấy coi cái bánh cái này nín nấu nha.
Ăn răng. Ok. Ok, thế này bắt tôi nha. Nhung color cũng rồi luôn rồi. Chia quá mà cậu nhung. Này nhung color.
Daiwa is a good brand.
Mà đau như thầm tiêu lắm chứ.
I thought the one you got me was
That was for Stillhead, but you can use for Striper. This is made for like surfacing. But it would be nice and smart. The tip is more sturdy, so it would be better. But I really like this one.
That's for outside.
Mà cá quả tới papa chứ gì thôi.
This would be nice.
That's about 12 feet.
Yeah, this is brand new.
Like 12 feet, right?
I think the new is the
I think, yeah.
this one. This is Shimano.
Lò tiêu can nó sẽ hổ.
It's not good.
This one power.
That's kind of heavy.
Need 'em light.
I want a small one. This is small one though.
You got it, man.
Mà cả mà tiêu can mà rồi có giàu có cái nữa. Răng răng nha.
Let's stick it up. See if like these. Well, I'm gonna fish it for them.
We have in I don't have any.
Nếu bật béo keng mà rồi có keng cha. Nhóm sẽ hồi vào lò tiêu. Lò cả tiêu hỏm hỏm để tiêu nó chạy xuống đi. Chạy con để tiêu cái đó. Mà giàu con nó.
Oh my God. This is 70.
Tiêu toán và chạy con đó.
Yeah.
Then I have the gray one. I have to buy the red one.
These, but different.
Oh,
Uh,
you got the game. Oh,
Tôi cái ngàn này thì ta đánh tới chủ béo ấy.
oh, maybe yeah. I think this one then.
À chẳng có tiêu nè, chẳng tiêu kê nè.
No, not. You do the 10 pound now, huh?
Nụm hóa tề giang là ten pound hay lòn tề béo mắt chỉ đằng nào nào. Sniper với mai tôm tiêu nhé. Nay bữa ta mảng co vẫn nom giang nó giàu như nay bữa mãi tận nom giang đủ bữa mãi phổ giang. À.
See over there. Okay. When they come in, the first thing that happens is we use a big forklift and put them on the ground. Okay.
Đủ bữa mãi tận phổ giang nè.
First thing that happens is we back them into the shop.
Chú cho bữa mua mảng cả na.
There I have a technician.
Xiang giang cái nhiều là tăng y nhang như giang.
He's got to go make sure that the boat has everything that it says it has, there's no damage, and that everything's functional on the boat. So he's going to plug in the battery, put some gas in the tank, run the engine.
Y nhang cái xiang giang y xin như chụp phải như giang. Pontoon à. Nhiều na yếm da giang như tỏng ha con tôm đô nó mình tu lại da nhiều da giang ha. Pontoon na nhiều da giang như tỏng ha.
Once you buy the boat, you schedule it for delivery. Between you buying the boat and scheduling for delivery, the boat goes straight back into the shop, and I have a separate.
Nó ở giả là thôi như vậy.
So he's going to do everything again to make sure twice that.
Xiang là giả nhé. Xiang giang.
Yeah.
Phá bung nè, giả như bung nè, bữa phá bịa giang á, bịa bung mình. Giả như là xiang giang nè, cái lồng chia xiang giang ha.
So in the water, wanting to.
Nó nên giả cái hiệp buôn nó lồng.
$2,000 will have no stickers. Okay.
Giả cái buôn nó lồng, nó giang.
The cowling here, you'll see the power head of your engine. This is a 75 horse four-stroke engine.
Okay.
It has a
Chẳng thằng nó là thôi.
Number one, we have a little tab right here that we can unscrew and twist out. Okay. What that is a freshwater flush. So what we can do there is every time we're done using the boat in the water, we get it home or we get it on the ramp or out of the water onto the dock. Okay. What we want to do is take a fresh water source like a garden hose, unplug this cap, and feed that water hose in. What you want to do from there is flush out the motor. And that will basically fill all the water jackets from the inside of the engine throughout your entire day's
Phải mà chế lưu giả là, cũng chế lưu nhé.
Because it's a water-cooled engine. What you might suck into that engine might be bad or dirty or grimy, right? Dirt or mud or algae or anything like that.
So for these four-stroke, when we look onto a water hose to it, obviously have the engine running.
You do not run the engine when you have a water source here. You cannot run it. You can run the engine, but it'll damage it. So this is just for flushing the engine, not for running it.
Gotcha.
So what you're gonna do is just leave it in there for about 10 minutes. That'll drain. Have you ever used the earmuffs before?
Yeah, I have.
Suction cups that go over the side. That plugs the garden hose in right there. That
Okay.
allows you to crank the engine.
Okay. Gotcha.
So never run the engine while you have a water source hooked up.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
this allows
Good
you
to
to
know.
flush it. You should do that every time you're done using the boat.
Okay.
睇你做บัวบัวจ๋าบัวน่าน้อยลงบัวจะให้ลง
Wiping the boat off, right?
Sounds
เพื่อ
good.
น่าตั้งบัว
On the power head, you'll see a
Hello.
couple of things. This is what yellow cap here. This is oil goes in.
Okay.
We have a dipstick here for oil checked. This stainless steel valve here is oil drain.
That's the oil drain. Gotcha.
So fill it, check it, and drain it.
Okay.
Okay. So pretty standard stuff. On the inside, you'll see things like your oil filter, your fuel filter right here.
Okay.
These are things you're going to change every single year that you own the boat.
Okay. Sounds
Standard
good.
service stuff.
And how often do we change out those oil filter and oils?
Once a year.
Once a year.
Once a year or every 100 hours of use. So if
100.
you're going to use it for 100 hours on the water within a year, then you should change it at that 100-hour mark as opposed to once a year. Most
Gotcha.
people typically don't accumulate
They don't do
100
it.
hours throughout the year.
Okay.
Mercury recommends at least once a year or every 100 hours. And then we have a 3-year, 300-hour check, and I'll cover that in just a second.
Okay. Sounds good.
โอ้ยเนี่ยเหรอด้วยเนี่ยเหรอเนี่ยเหรอ
The engine takes
Bằng cả màn
25,
ấy.
40 weight or 10
บัดเดียวเนี่ย
W30
จ้าง
oil.
ทั้งเนาะ
So
10W30. Okay.
right now it has 10 W30 in it, but if you get your oil
Ah,
changed here in
lồng ta bật
California,
dẻo
you're
hả?
going to get 25, 40 weight.
25,
40 weight's more appropriate for warmer climates. I'm not sure where you're from. Where you're from?
Merced.
Merced.
Valley.
So we
Yang
don't
enak.
typically go
Siap
below
pet.
0 in Merced.
Yeah.
So
pet in hả nè?
10 W30 is more appropriate for that. So if you're
Okay.
going to take and store the boat in Tahoe or something like that,
Gotcha.
perhaps 10
Siap pet.
W30 is
Fit nè,
more
nó có toàn siap pet in.
appropriate. 25, 40 weight, however, is just
เสียเป็ดอินนะน้องนะ
Okay. Sounds good.
เสียเป็ดฟิตเนี่ยจ้างฮะ
Regular 87 octane gasoline that you'll fill right here on the back. It's a
Mhm.
38-gallon tank. Okay, so big
เสีย
gas
เป็ดอิน
tank.
นะ
Yes.
Regular 87
Năng hả?
octane is totally
Đau
fine.
giờ đó.
You can feel free to burn
Có
higher
còn
octane,
Siap
Supreme,
pet in
things
là có.
like that if you'd like to.
So I could just run just regular then. Okay.
เสียเป็ด
Gotcha.
ฟุตเนี่ยนะ
Gotcha.
It's
เสีย
more
เปิด
so going to hurt your
ด้านหน้า
wallet.
เหรอ
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking about
It's
that
not a
too.
speedboat, so Supreme gasoline is really not going to take you
ฝา
very
คุณห
far.
วายบังกะว่านะ
So
Okay.
I would just stick to regular 87 octane.
Sounds
The
good.
gallon tank, you may not burn
โอ้
38
ฝา
gallons.
กระดาเปิดยาวก็หล่อ
So
นะ
what you want to do is use stabilizers.
เสียง
fuel
จ้างนะ
additives or fuel
ปะตา
treatment.
เปิดให้ได้
Buy
อย่า
it
เสียง
just
เนี่ย
about
อ่อน
anywhere.
จุ๋ย
We
เนี่ย
sell it over the counter, obviously.
Mhm.
It's about 1 ounce for every 5 gallons.
Okay.
And what that does is it treats the gasoline and keeps it clean. So
Oh, okay.
you want to use that every single time you use the boat or fill the boat with gasoline, okay?
Gotcha.
Go ahead and dump one of those bottles in.
One bottle is good for 5 gallon, you said?
1 ounce
What?
is good for 5 gallons.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
So one whole bottle could be
one
like
whole bottle will
28.
be like 2 tanks. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you really don't have to worry about it too much. But
Okay.
just make sure you're adding it often when it's really cold. And
Winterize
you're
it.
really not going to use the boat. It's just going to stay in storage.
Right.
A
Yeah, it's young
stabilizer
kalok na.
should be added at that time
Gotcha.
because old gasoline again is
เปิด
just
เดียว
gonna
จ้างกันทั้งเนาะ
jack your bill up higher and higher and higher if you want to get it serviced, right? So be
Gotcha.
careful of that. And keep in mind, bad gasoline hurts engines.
Okay. Sounds good. Did we just unclip the
You're
pin?
going to unclip that pin and throw
That's
it
it?
into the bottom
Okay.
of the truck
Nằm cả
or
nó
in
chia
the
nè.
boat, but normally not in the boat because you don't want to carry it with you all day.
Yeah.
Most people just throw it in the bed of their truck.
Okay.
ซึ่ง
And does this also come with the strap to the-
ตีงี้กันขนาดเราเตะปุ่น
So
Oh.
we have those available
Nhụt
for
phui
you
tổ nấm
for
rưỡi là.
purchase after
Oh,
you're
tight.
done here.
Oh, okay. I thought it was added onto the thing, no?
If it was added onto the finance
mà
deal,
chơi
I'll
làm
check
phông
and I'll
cái
make sure
từ
you
nó
leave it.
dạng
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So like I said, we checked everything on, okay?
Sounds good. Okay.
โอ้น่าอยากก็เราเมียนเมืองกันนะ
Sure. You guys ready?
สวยยังไม่อยากก็หรอ
Like, come on, you want to go first?
Have the captain steer for me.
All right.
แต่เปิดทั้งน้องเนี่ยอยากล่ะ
Oh, I love that
Here
fish
we
fry.
have
Uh-huh.
everything, our console, right? So this
Yes.
is where we operate the vessel,
เปียแต่ปัต
obviously.
ตานะปัจ
A
จัย
couple of
เนี่ย
things
ยัง
to
ล่ะ
describe and explain to you. First and
Ở đây
foremost,
là
you
dừng nghe
have
nè.
2 keys.
Okay.
Both of them are
Dừng.
ignition keys. That's
Okay.
the only 2 keys that go with it.
Gotcha.
You heard the beep.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, whenever we crank our engine or turn on run,
Mhm.
you're always going to hear that beep. That beep is an audible alarm informing you that the boat is now awake and ready to operate electronics. And also the engine may be running if you crank it all the way to ignition, right?
Okay.
That is also your audible alarm for everything else. So while you're operating the vessel, if
Mhm.
that beeping is occurring, you're experiencing a check engine source of a problem. Okay, so the good news is that you have a Mercury engine, and that comes with a safeguard of Guardian mode. Guardian
Gotcha.
mode essentially is a limp mode, some people call it,
Yeah.
or low power mode.
Okay.
Essentially, Guardian mode's going to protect the engine. It's not going to let you harm it. So
Okay.
if it's beeping at you and you try to throttle it up, the motor more than likely will not allow that function to occur. That protects itself. That way it doesn't harm the engine.
Gotcha.
Those alarms sound for various reasons, the most common being like an overheat.
Overheat,
For
okay.
example, if you run the engine out of the water, it'll beep at you right away because it's overheating,
Right.
and it'll shut itself off or low.
I did
power.
see that on YouTube where this guy took out the resistor on it, and then he was going and then he over limit, and then this started to beep and stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, and it could beep at you for a lot of things. The
น่าหลง
engine's
ตา
really
บัดเดียว
smart.
ห้า
Yeah,
So
yeah.
even if it's a low battery, it'll tell
คอย
you
นอน
they
หนิง
have a
ตู้
low
หน้า
battery.
ยังตะย่างเนี่ยตอง
Similar to
Gotcha.
a check engine light
ผ่อน
on the
ทุน
car.
นะมิง
Okay.
เขาย่าง
Gotcha.
ย่าง
From here, we have a couple of things going on.
Yeah,
We're
I mean,
happy to add the 9-inch Lowrance display for the fish.
Yes.
finder. Fuel gauge is your fuel gauge. Right?
Gotcha.
Beyond that, you have a couple of switches. You have your red horn button. Go ahead and goose that for me. There we go. We have a horn that's
Nice.
on the boat. You have a 3-position light switch next to that.
Makes sense.
This is your fish finder. So this is the Lowrance HDS 9. It comes with a 3-in-1 transducer on the back, which
Okay.
means you're reading everything you read on the sonar is coming from the back of the boat. So
Gotcha.
don't think of it like up front. Think of it as the back of the boat.
Okay.
Anyway, some basic controls. Have you ever used a fish finder before?
Yes, I have a Lawrence at home too. Yeah.
Do I need to go into it
No.
with you? Perfect.
Yeah.
So then you understand how it
Yeah.
works.
Uh-huh.
You'll need to go through the setup and the configuration initially out of the box. So you can do that.
Yeah, I could
when
do.
you
I
get
could do.
home,
I
play
could do
around
all
with
that. Yeah.
And then you can just maybe you're stopping at the gas station.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do later.
Yeah, you don't want that to be like go missing while you're using the
Yeah.
bathroom or something like that. All it
Exactly.
is the 2 twist knobs on the back, one for power and one for your transducer.
Mhm.
Thread those off, pop it off, and then just take these 2 little ears right here, unthread them, and the whole thing pops straight off. So you can just throw it in the truck or lock
Gotcha.
it up somewhere safe. That way, it's not just sitting out here exposed.
Gotcha.
Right.
Sounds good.
Pretty simple stuff.
Very.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Underneath your console
Oh, yeah.
is your wiring harness, and power supply has been ran for a trolling motor if you choose to add one. So that's what
Yes.
a power supply is there.
Okay.
So-
So this is for the trolling motor. That
Yes.
slot. Okay. Good. Good.
So that is, and your boat also comes with a battery box that goes in there for a trolling motor if you want
Oh.
one. So it's just an empty box, but
Okay.
for your trolling motor, if you do decide to have one,
Okay.
that's where it would go, and it would go under there, and that's where you can power it all on.
So I do have a question. So for all the accessory and all the lights and everything, and the fish finder, they're all running off of one battery, which is connected to the.
Fish finder, your gauges,
Mhm.
all your horn and your
น้อง
lights.
นอน
and
เนี่ย
all
นะ
that
ญี่
stuff is
ปุ่นอาจารย์
powered
ไฟ
by the
ปัด
battery
ที่นี่นะ
through
ทู
the
อยู่
house power, which is the
Gotcha.
fuse block,
เข้าไปนะ
and that
ปวด
fuse box under there.
ต้องจ้าง
For
เนี่ยอ่ะ
example,
เหยียบกันที่
everything's
ได้ประเหตุ
working
ก็
on the boat except for your lights.
Mhm.
You want to look at that
The fuse.
fuse block before you start yanking on the battery cord and things like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Because perhaps
Cause
a fuse might be blown,
Yeah.
as opposed to tearing apart the whole boat trying to figure
yeah,
out.
cause I was trying to think about isolating it with 2 batteries, having the accessory on
that'd
the
be
other
a
one.
good idea. The question
know?
you're going to ask yourself is, where am I going to put my other battery?
Yeah.
And
That's
so
the thing.
We'll go into that too.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so everything underneath there though is where you're wired at and you're ready to go.
Okay. Sounds good.
Any questions about the console?
No, pretty much everything. Starting to get familiar with this. So I'm pretty good with all this. How to operate it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Above us, we have our Bimini.
Okay.
The Bimini is rated boat here.
Okay.
If
Nice,
it's
nice.
even windier, put it down.
Put it down.
And you can't go fast in it.
Gotcha.
It'll bend,
นั่นยี่จะ
break,
ฟิตนะ
Yeah,
นะ
we
ปว
don't
ด
want that.
and it's
Tao
very
tự nhiên
costly
luôn,
to
tự nhiên.
replace. So be
ยี่จะ
careful
ฟิต
with
นะ
that.
ยี่
Those that come
ยี่
with
จ้าง
these
นะ
two
ปวด
straps here. These two
Tao
straps
tự
are
nhiên
what
phải
hold
trở
it
nên
down,
nó
so
sẽ
while you're
chụp
going
phết
in a
ha.
forward motion or the wind is blowing against
จะ
it,
ฟิต
it
นะ
doesn't
ปวด
just
จะ
flop
ป
Yeah,
วด
around.
ซ้ำ
yeah.
ย่อยี่เสียบไม่เต็มนะปวด
Installed when you're using it.
เส้นรู
Okay.
เนี่ย
We'll
แต่น่า
lower
จะ
the
เป็น
Bimini
ห้าม
and
ปวด
stow it, and I'll show you what you can do with
ไฟ
all.
วันอยู่
Just a second.
ทำเนี่ย
Okay. Sounds good.
We'll go look at the battery.
All right.
So our battery is located right here.
Oh, that's it, huh?
That's it. So you'll notice
Or sit on the side right
here
there.
or somewhere else where you want to supply that extra power source. Good idea. Recommended that
Yeah,
you do so.
Because I want to isolate it. Yeah.
Of course.
hmm
But as you can see, the battery container that's provided
Yeah, it's
is
not that much
large
room.
enough for another battery.
Makes sense. Okay.
Your live wells here. I also put your Bimini boot in there.
Okay. I do have a question. let's say I want to add one of those Noco battery charger. If I drill a hole to run that little extension port, would that void the warranty on the hole?
No,
Do
it
you
won't
know?
void the warranty on the hole, but if you create damage where you run your power and cut a hole in and the
Yeah.
problem is occurring from that spot, then yes, that would be a voided warranty.
Gotcha. Okay, so
But for example, if you drill a hole and run power for another battery or a
Yeah.
charger or whatever, and you start having a problem up front, that's unrelated and you'll still have a warranty.
makes sense.
Right.
Gotcha. Makes
So you
sense.
won't just void the entire warranty.
Yes, that's
just
what I was
because you
thinking.
added it.